Hey guys, welcome to the channel. In this video, let's talk about the VS Code extensions you need to make your code writing experience much smoother. Although you can use the other code editors like Atom or Sublime, VS Code has become a kind of a default code editor for most devs out there. So without further ado, let's jump into the video. Coming at number 1, Live Server. Live Server is one of the most handy tools when it comes to front-end web development using HTML and CSS. Normally, when you make a change in your code or write something new, you need to refresh the page manually to see the changes. So if you make, say, 10 code changes, you have to refresh the browser 10 times and it becomes quite annoying. To tackle that, you can use the Live Server extension. If you click on the Go Live button on the footer of your VS Code window, it will churn up a local development server on port 5500. Hence, with each code change you make in your document, it will reload the browser automatically and you won't have to have the headache of refreshing the browser yourself. Coming up at number 2, Prettier. Prettier is the default go-to extension for most developers to write cleaner code. What Prettier does is it adds elements in your code which essentially does not change the functionality of the code and strongly improves its readability. When you save your code, Prettier will automatically put in the indentations and semicolons wherever needed. All in all, it is a very handy tool when it comes to writing readable code. Just don't forget to set Prettier as your default code formatter in the settings. Next up, number 3, File Icons. File icons gives you separate icons for your files to make them a bit more distinguishable than the default ones. File icons has a designated icon for most of the programming languages you are going to use. So give it a try. I am sure you will find file icons really useful. Coming up at number 4, CSS Peek. If anything that annoys developers a lot is to toggle from CSS files and HTML files to check what styles are attached to a class or an ID. Well, the CSS Peek extension definitely makes it easier for you to handle this annoying problem. With CSS Peek installed, you can hover over a class in your HTML file and see the CSS styles attached to it. What's even better is you can actually click on that class name in your HTML file and you will be redirected into your CSS file in the location where the CSS styles for that class are written. It has got to be one of the handiest extensions I have used for development. Number 5, ES7 React Snippets. If you are a React developer, this has to be a must-have in your arsenal of extensions. ES7 React Snippets gives you small code snippets for most use statements in React. Import statements, export statements, a template for a component, and many others are there in this extension. If you use ES7 React Snippets, you will surely save a lot of time and spend the time writing the more useful parts of your code rather than worrying about code syntax. Okay, so number 6, auto rename tag. How many times has it happened that you had to change a p tag into a div tag or maybe a h1 into an h2, and every time you annoyingly have to change the closing tag too? I have been there, guys. I know how irritating that can be. Well, auto rename tag, as the name suggests, does that for you. This has to be also one of the best extensions I have ever used with VS Code. A must-have extension for you guys. Definitely check out Auto Rename Tag. Okay, so the last one at number 7, Bracket Pair Colorizer 2. Again, one of the handiest extensions in VS Code. Bracket Pair Colorizer 2 gives color schemes for brackets in HTML or JSX elements to show developers the hierarchy in elements in a proper visual manner. It makes the coding experience much smoother, especially since you don't have to go hunt for where a particular bracket closes. So guys, that was my list for the VS Code extensions you need in your arsenal. So what are you waiting for? Get coding! Like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the content, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye guys.